Okay guys, so I got my frame coated yesterday all the way around, and I was digging around up here in the loft, and I got two 6x9s in a box and a Pioneer CD player. I think I'm gonna put that in the truck. I haven't had tunes in the truck for a long time, but I don't know, I'm still debating. I might take the one out of the Honda here. The Honda has a Kenwood in it, and it accepts like a MP3 player. I don't think this one accepts an MP3 player, and I don't know. I don't have any CDs. I just scratched the living fucking shit out of them. I got two subs up there too, a JL and a Kicker, or MTX. I'm sorry, but my amp took a shit on me a couple years ago. I don't know what happened. I had it hooked up in the truck, and I think it got wet or something and short-circuited. But a couple things I'm going to be trying to do today is get this CD player in, which shouldn't take too long. All the wires are already there. I just got to plug and play pretty much. And I want to start getting ready to do this flatbed. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I went to the surplus store yesterday to price out the metal I'd need to make the bed, and it's going to be like $350 just for the metal for the framing, and then wood on top of that. And I want to make sideboards and shit, so I think I'm going to end up making the whole thing out of wood, and it should work out fine. I got plenty of wood. I'm going to use 4x4s and 2x6s pressure treated, and we'll see how that comes. But let me get started on installing this CD player, and I'll turn you back on later. Okay guys, so I'm out here trying to figure out how I want to build my flatbed. I tried looking all over YouTube and all over Google and stuff for people building a flatbed, homemade flatbed out of wood on a Dodge Ram, and I couldn't find nothing. I found a couple of S10s and a Ford Ranger and some F-150s. But I couldn't find anything on a Dodge, so I'm just gonna wing it. I went to the surplus store yesterday. They have a vast variety of metal. I was trying to find like 8-inch C-channel and some angle iron and stuff. God damn, that shit's expensive, man. It would have cost me like $350 just to get two 8-foot pieces and I don't know, a couple of things. I'm not going to go through the list because I ain't using it. But it would have cost me like $350 just to make a frame that I could have put wood on. So I'm going to go with plan B, and I'm going to build the whole thing out of wood, especially since I had a whole wood stash around the corner. I was going to make my loft out of this stuff, but I'm going to sacrifice it for now and just buy wood later for the loft, since this is what I'm working on now. But I got two pressure treated 4x4s up there and two here. I cut them to 78 inches, which is just about exactly, maybe a little bit more than the width of the cab. But I wanted to do that because I wanted to bring the 4x4s about an inch out past this tire, because I'm going to put a runner board here, like a fascia board. And when that's all loaded with wood, I need it to be able to travel down next to the tire so it doesn't hit the tire, you know what I mean? Because when I load this thing up with firewood, she squats. The bumper pads pretty much touch the rear end. But yeah, so I cut them to 78 inches, and I took the scraps and I put them in the center for support in the center there. But what I'm trying to figure out now is these three boards that are going to be here aren't going to have as much support, you know what I mean, and then in the middle. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hanger joist there and here, and here and here, and I'm going to run one this way and this way just to the inside of the tire. That way I got support for that board, and then the board I put on the outside of the tire will be support for the end board, and then I'll have support there. And then I think I'm going to put a joist hanger here and put a joist this way. That way these boards going across have support in the center also. that's just, I think, how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get long ass carriage bolts, and I'm gonna bolt straight down to the frame there and here. I'll probably put 2 in each of those. I'll have to drill holes for those ones in the frame, and then I'll put 1 there and 1 there, long ass carriage bolts to sandwich them together. And then the rest of it, I think I'm going to put together with lags. I'm going to get a bunch of lags and slam them together. But yeah, I just cut these to 78 inches for now, and I got to make my measurements so I know that they're centered on the cab there. And then I'm going to start cutting deck boards. I'm going to lay it all together before I actually bolt anything permanently, just to make sure everything's going to work out. So yeah, let me get some shit figured out here and I'll turn you guys back on. Okay guys, I figured I'd explain this the best I can. I got where I want to drill my holes for my frame. Yeah, cell phone. But anyway, I marked out where I want to drill the holes so they bolt into the frame. And in order to figure that out now, since this back's different than the front and whatnot, I measured from the center of this hole to the center of this hole, and I got, what was it, 35 and a half? Yeah, 35 and a half. Now what I did there was I took 35 and a half and I subtracted from 78 inches, which is as long as this was. And then what I got left over from that was 43 and a half inches. And then what I did was I took the 43 and a half inches and I divided that by 2, and that gave me my measurement from this end in and this end in, which was 21 and a half. In the front it was 16 3/4. But I don't know, I really suck at fucking math. I'm just trying to explain it the best I could. I took the measurement between these 2 holes, I subtracted it from the total length, and what that does is that tells you, you know, the distance between whatever, and then it gives you what's left over. It gives you what would be left over minus these 35 and a half inches here, and then you divide that by 2 so each of your overhangs are the same. But I don't know, that's the best I can describe it. I really suck at math, but I get by. So yeah, I got my holes marked where I'm going to drill them, and I'm going to mark the ones in the center. I'm just going to eyeball those. They don't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to start cutting decking boards. Okay guys, so I just laid those boards on there. Nothing's fastened down. And this is what we're kind of looking at. It's going to be a flatbed like that. And I got plenty of clearance there above the tire. I got more room there than when the frame stop will hit the pumpkin, you know, the rear axle. So that should be good. Like I said, I'm going to put some more supports in between this way, in between those 2 ones, and then I'm going to put a couple this way to support those boards. I got this long one here, and that's going to go up here, you know, as a fascia. I actually think I might have 2 by 8 that I can use as a fascia, but that's sort of what we're looking at. These boards are all covered in shit because they were in the flood, so I'm going to be pressure washing them off, I guess, after I put it together. I'm going to try to sweep it the best I can right now. But that's what we're going to kind of be looking at. I haven't decided what I'm going to do on taillights yet. I might just go to Harbor Freight and get some taillights, you know, for their trailer taillights or whatnot, and mount them straight to the wood. I might use the stock taillights right here. I really don't have any idea what I'm going to do with the taillights yet, or the fill fuel neck. But I got the bed kind of figured out, which is good. So we'll take it from there. I'm going to drill some holes and make a couple more measurements.